Have you ever wanted to start a mobile gaming channel but just struggle to do so because you think you need a fancy setup, or do you already have a channel but just struggle to blow up on YouTube? Don't worry, I've been there too. And today I'll be guiding you through this video of the do's and don'ts, the essentials, tips, and more so that you can see growth on your channel just like I have. If you're wondering who I am, let me introduce myself. I'm Chris and I've had this channel for around 5 years now, but I didn't take YouTube seriously until February of 2024. That's a little over a year from when this video was uploaded. I started with around 40-ish subscribers a year ago, and now I have 5K all within a year. That's insane growth, and I'm grateful to my subscribers for putting me one step closer towards my dreams, having YouTube as a full-time job. If you guys want to help me out towards fulfilling that dream, or just find the video helpful, subscribe. It helps me a lot and I'd really appreciate it. First, we have beginners, or those of you that don't have the budget to invest in a setup. If you only have your mobile device, you're gonna have to record, edit, do thumbnails, and post all on one single device. Here are the tools you need to do all of that on just your phone. Generally, after pre-production, which is most of the time just scripting, more on that if you're interested in a future video, is the actual production, or in this case, the actual recording of the video. What you need is to capture your gameplay via a recording software. Since this is on mobile, you need to download an app to do that, except if your device has a native screen recording feature. Otherwise, the apps that I recommend for Android are the Recorder, which by the way is what I used for my first ever gaming video, and Mobizen, which I saw a lot on the early MCPE days. On iOS, this is much easier since all iOS devices have screen recording built in on the control center. When recording, make sure you have enough storage in your device, otherwise you may have instances where your file corrupts or you're unable to save your final edit. To free up space, delete unwanted files, apps, photos, or videos. For the editing software, I have a couple of suggestions for Android. CapCut is the simplest, beginner-friendly editing app out there and the most popular if you're going to make short-form content. Just a disclaimer for those of you in the United States, you are unable to download this app due to the TikTok ban, so unfortunately to my US listeners out there, you won't be able to use CapCut, but I do have some other editing apps that I'm gonna talk about in a bit. By the way, you can also use the built-in editing feature for simple cuts in the Recorder, which I mentioned earlier, though it's not meant for more complex editing. But arguably, the best for Android has got to be KineMaster. KineMaster is one of the more advanced editing apps on the Play Store, and I've used it for years before I made it this channel. It has a bunch of tools and effects you can use for free. I definitely recommend learning KineMaster if you're considering editing mobile in the long term. Now, for my iOS users out there, an editing app I know most of you probably have used is iMovie.
What the hell?
Yes, iMovie is pretty decent if you plan on just editing clips.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Actually, the first video I uploaded to this channel was edited on iMovie.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Now, if you're more serious about editing or planning on making some pretty decent edits, I recommend VN. I used this app after I ditched iMovie since it has a feature most editing apps don't have, and that is frame interpolation. Anyways, another app I recommend is VideoLeap, which I use for quite a bit. It's similar to CapCut, but it's kind of the shitty Wish version. Still a solid option though. Once you're done editing, you're probably thinking about making the thumbnail. Well, the apps I used to make thumbnails in the old days when I had an Android were Pixellab and Photoshop Touch APK. Pixellab is the GOAT for making thumbnails, and Photoshop Touch isn't attainable the traditional way, unfortunately. You need to download it as an APK online, so download it at your own risk. Those were the only two I've ever tried, so I can't recommend any other apps. Anyways, onto iOS devices. I used PhotoLeap and Ibis Paint X to make my thumbnails back in the day. Canva is one I never used, but I hear it's a solid option. For dimensions, you want your thumbnails to be at 1080p at a max file size of 2 megabytes, as well as have them in the JPEG format, and that's pretty much it. To upload a video from your phone, all you have to do is press the plus icon at the center bottom of the screen. All of your photos and videos from your gallery should be there if you granted YouTube permission to access them. Now select the video you want to upload, do all the required details like title, thumbnail, description, etc. Then you should see your video upload and process. Now, if you have intermediate to advanced settings like me, you can put a custom thumbnail, schedule your video to a specific time, and more. For those who have a small budget, like let's say less than $100, and you have an iOS device, consider buying LumaFusion. It's a much better editing app, and it will help you learn the traditional layout of mainline editing software like Adobe Premiere Pro. One word of advice as well: don't pay for subscription services or plans if you don't make that money back. LumaFusion is a one-time purchase, and you can use it in future updates it gets. If you're a beginner content creator and and you pay for such subscription services, I find it better to save that money and spend it on equipment that will help you later down the line. For example, a capture card, a laptop, or parts to even build a PC. Then and only then, once you have what you need, I recommend you spend it on high-end services like the Adobe Suite / Creative Cloud, YouTube tools like a vidIQ Premium subscription, Spotify Premium for ad-free background music for streams, Streamlabs for overlay presets, and so many more tools. But we'll talk more about those in the advanced / mid to high budget portion of the video. Now, if you have two devices like a mobile device and a laptop or a low-end computer, you instantly get lots of opportunities. Now you can natively record your gameplay on your phone and transfer them via Google Drive or email the files to yourself as a zip file to your laptop or PC. If you have the money though, you can buy a cheap capture card and the needed cables so that you can record your gameplay on your computer so that you can edit the files after once you're done recording. The capture card doesn't have to be Elgato since they are quite expensive and usually go for above $100. To save you some time, here are some cheap capture cards that provide bang for your buck quality. Note that you will need separate additional cables for these, so keep that in mind. So the first I recommend is Genki Shadowcast 2, second we have the Ribazin capture card, and third we have the TKHIN capture card. Now once you have your capture cards connected, you can easily integrate them into your recording software. I use OBS as my recording software choice. You can use other recording software, but OBS is the go-to for 99% of gaming content creators. I recommend looking up guides and tutorials for the best settings to record with the best quality possible for your specific PC. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the recording portion. Now, for editing, there are very limited options on mobile, and for most apps, they require subscriptions for certain features. Fortunately, if you have a computer, there are tons of options for free editing software. Filmora, the desktop version of CapCut, there's OpenShot, Clipchamp, and many more. But there's one editing program that I believe every beginner should use. That one being DaVinci Resolve. I used the free version the moment I started taking YouTube seriously, and I fell in love with it. So much so, I bought the paid studio version. It's so good, you should download it now and start learning it if you haven't picked your editing software of choice yet. But yes, you should be able to make some really nice edits once you master this app. For thumbnails, photo editing software is what you're looking for. Before I use my current software, which by the way is not Photoshop, I used GIMP. It's an open source software that isn't very optimized, but you get used to it for a while. Photopea is an alternative very similar to Adobe's Photoshop. I've seen some good reviews, but the only catch is that this program is not a program. It's all online. I mean, in your web browser. Speaking of which, Canva is another one that I hear that gets thrown around quite a bit. Go give that a try if interested. Now, the uploading process is quite similar to mobile. Press the plus icon, this time on the top right, click video, select your video file, give it a title, thumbnail, etc., and you should be done. That video should be uploading and processing. Here's a tip: if you have 1440p 2K footage, export it at that resolution. It may take longer to upload, but your videos will be much sharper, including at 1080p. This is because you will receive better bitrates due to YouTube using a different codec. Anyways, enough of that. Learn in-depth explanations elsewhere, because up next we got the advanced / high-end level content creators. For recording, obviously not much changes in terms of software since OBS has all that you need, but capture cards is another story. If you have an iPad that displays 4K and 120 FPS, Elgato capture cards are gonna capture all of the juicy details and frames. I personally have the 4K 60 Pro Mark II internal capture card, which is more than enough for recording. I just wanted to future-proof the PC, but you don't have to go that extreme. For editing, the no-brainer would be Adobe Premiere Pro, but if you don't like the subscription-based plan, then go for the studio version of DaVinci Resolve. It's a flat fee and you get free updates. Photo editing software would be your run-of-the-mill Photoshop, but again, if you want a subscription-free version, I use Affinity Photo 2. Pretty much a clone and has the same features and functionality, just different keyboard shortcuts. Now, if you already have a channel but you can't seem to get any views, well, I'm going to review some of your guys' channels and give some feedback. Hello, Editor Chris here. I'm sorry this video took a while to put out, but I did take a break in between making this video. I initially started this project back in January, and around February I was kind of burnt out from all the editing, so this project was huge and it did take a lot out of me. As you can see, this is probably one of the most edited videos I've ever done on the channel thus far, and a lot of motion graphics were put into this, and that was mainly what burnt me out, all of this movement and stuff. So by the like second half of the video, I think you can tell that the effort was kind of just not there, at least not as much as the beginning. So yeah, toward the end, not a lot of impressive stuff going on, but I did what I had to do to get this out as soon as possible and not like have it uploaded on June or July. So I'm just glad that I got this information out for you guys. Hopefully it helped. Anyways, again, also this second part to the video was not planned, but because of the fact that this video just took so long, I just thought to myself I had to make this a part 2. I'll dive deeper into what you should do or what decisions you should make. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought already. But I'm glad I did it, because if you guys do enjoy this, it gives me a reason to keep doing these and help you guys out. I normally do COD-M content, but if you guys want to see this sort of stuff that's outside of COD-M, let me know. Leave a thumbs up, a comment down below, because it would if I should keep continuing doing this. But yeah, that's about it. Again, please like and subscribe. It'll do a huge favor because I haven't uploaded that much in the past couple of days. So yeah, after this, I think it's going to be smooth sailing from here. Regular uploads as usual. I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.